Hello, welcome to Watch J-Rocker Fail. Fail. That might actually work. Well, let's see if I can reload my drink for the road. Put my food from earlier, oh snap, away. And maybe we will be on our way. Score. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. What's cold, you ask? The water that's dripping down this bottle all over the place. What's hot? It's hot. Just touching my head to the ceiling right here. 1, 2. Yep, it's starting to burn. Owie. Alright, I can do way longer than that. But we gotta get going. Gotta hit the road, Jack. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna take care of this trash. Be white black. Hot seat. Let's see, who's still recording? Word on the street, we are recording. Look at the tire. Okay. Park. Navigate. Come on. Home. No. Come on, you gotta make her play back. That button. Drive. Give a little bit of gas, I guess. like, you just threw me in the middle of a parking lot again. What the hell, bro? Yeah, it's supposed to be parking lot to parking lot. Alright, just figure it out. But by giving it gas, it kind of forces it to make a decision. Watch out for the big FedEx truck. Don't follow the FedEx truck. Don't go into the flagpole. Alright. You need to make a left turn. Do it. You can do it. You can do it, bro. Yeah. Nailed it. So one of the times it came to this crosswalk here and it stopped, and I was wondering why it stopped. There was somebody that wanted to walk across the crosswalk, and as soon as I stopped, well, the car stopped, they started to walk across. I'm like, that's crazy. I didn't even know that they wanted to walk across. The car saw them and knew that they wanted to walk across. Still having tire problems. The driveway may be completed as dialed, so some finishing touches or whatnots. Word, we could write the check today, it sounds like. then we can get the camper delivered as soon as possible, probably next week. Definitely the week after at the latest, depending on how that time frame rolls out. That's put 2 weeks out still. We are in June right now. I don't know if I dare try to come out of my seat. You'd probably recognize that I'm leaving my seat immediately. North 95. Back to 70, will you pick it up? It missed it. It always misses the 70 on this one. But at least on this model, just gotta bump it up. It's like, if you want to go over the speed limit, it's okay. Not sure if it was slowing down for the garbage in the road. Is that a wild seagull? No. Sometimes it will see mirages. Ding, president, ding, president. Let's join. Oh, come on, now, see. Let's keep our shit together here. Mirages. Like what you're hearing? Follow the host.
Real quick, administrative note. Sorry to interrupt. But we have student Tesla is listing while we're prepping with his two littles in the back. So it's kind of the same affinity for and where the rest of us are going to try. Sorry, I have my little in the car too. Hey Justin, how old are your kids? So I have my oldest with me who's 17, and he's gonna launch my seventh, who's gonna be 8 at the end of this month. But if you want to do something with getting the kids together, we should go to the event, right?
I am, but we're going to Indy first. I'm dropping the kids off at my parents' house so they can spend a week in some.
Got it, makes sense. All right.
Okay, so yeah,
We
so
should
good
plan a future meetup with that where we bring all the kids. That would be fun. I would absolutely love that.
So thanks for the warning, because yeah, I didn't have my filter on, but I will be more cautious. I apologize for my bad language. I do. I'm not a bad person, Jay. I don't. I never said he was a bad person.
He's not a bad
But I may
person.
accidentally drop the ball, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so here's my story. So I had a stupid Toyota. No, I had a stupid Honda Civic, and I've traded it in now, and I got a Hyundai electric, and I like it a lot better. It's charging at the Electrify America, so it's working it out. I'm learning about how much more difficult people who don't have Teslas. Like, it's just so much more work. I spent like half the day just signing up for this stupid thing. Anyways, it's not bad. It's not a terrible experience, but it hasn't been great. And then I was looking at my loan on my Tesla Model Y, and I'm just thinking, should I sell it, guys? Should I sell it once I get my new battery? Well, let's take a step back. So I have some bad news for you. Public charging, you've got one account set up. I think by the time I made it home with that Rivian, I had 4 new apps with 4 new accounts with 4 new. It's so ridiculous. It's so freaking insane. And then for that added cost and inconvenience, you also get to play the game of Russian roulette. Will this charger work? Will it kill me because I'm gonna have a heart attack from yeah, well, I'm not taking this super far. If I do, I'm gonna plan out the Electrify America. This particular station I'm at in SF it has like 20 different stalls. It has rooms for you to chill in with TVs and couches. It's actually really great. I can't complain, but I bet you there's a lot of them that are pretty brutal. But anyhow, so I was looking at my Model Y, and I called the bank today, and to check how much I have left to pay on my Model Y. So I know now. So I have, I need advice here. Where is it? I owe $74,221. Yeah,
That sucks. That sucks.
I know. No, that's
Did you get 2 Model Ys?
We used other pesos.
Pesos.
Oh, God. So just is that 20 grand US, roughly?
Ah!
13 grand US. No, it's not 20 grand US. Let's actually calculate it live.
No, don't calculate it.
Because, yeah, that's right. I should be doing this in 51 US to cash. Did you already do it? Like, exactly?
Hey, Mark, can you hear Lincoln?
I hear
I
him.
can hear Lincoln just as usual.
I figured we've had a really glitchy space, so I just wanted to check.
No,
accident. Nothing else got repaired, right? Just the battery.
Yeah, well,
Anyone
yeah.
I'm hearing like
So,
really muffled speech and I don't know if someone's talking.
It's actually coming through a
Jay's
lot. Your voice specifically. Sorry.
well, it may be me. I might be close to the
I can
phone.
hear you, Jay. I can hear you, Jay.
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is that you want to be very descriptive of what you,
Well,
whoever you give to someone.
well, remember, Jay. If I end up selling it, I was a Tesla service advisor. I will go with them to the service center and get the printout that states, a rock damaged my battery, whatever it's gonna say on there. I have to be a little careful with insurance, but I'll get them that estimate. I'll get them that entire write-up, and they'll be able to see it. And from there, before they close the SB, I'll make sure that it's. I don't really know what to say, but if you guys have any ideas of dialogue, I can pretty much get.
You're on the right track, and I think that stuff will help too. You're gonna need to sell it yourself, though. Right. Just sell it private party.
Yeah.
With all the details, pictures of that invoice from Tesla. You can explain.
Does
that.
anyone know?
That's gonna be your best bet.
Mark?
Yes. Hey.
Oh, okay, sorry. There was no body damage, correct?
Mark?
No body damage.
So that's going to be a complete positive, because that's what normally wins people out. So if you just say,
Yeah.
like, hey, they hit a rock on the undercarriage, and it, like, punctured a little thing, so they needed a brand new battery, it's
Yeah.
basically like you got a new engine.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
nothing else.
Exactly.
So I would
Exactly.
definitely highlight that, there was no body damage.
But what do you guys think? Like, I really don't want to lose my shirt right now. Because this is my idea. I'm thinking of getting the new one next year. Even if I have to wait a bit, and if I'm stuck down here somewhere, I'll just buy like a cheap Model 3, like something that I've looked into and I know is gonna, move me to and from. And then
I have the best. I have the
give
best solution
me a
right
good
now.
solution,
Talk
Jay.
about it.
Give it to me. Like, tell me what do I do?
If you want to buy a Model 3, isn't there somebody on this damn forum right now that's trying to sell their 2019 Model 3 and it's undecided? Did somebody just talk about that?
If not,
Am I thinking of something? Well, am I thinking the same thing? Am I thinking about something? I mean, that could work. But I'm not working.
You want to come down and go along?
No, you don't understand. The only reason why I'm even going for Tesla is because I had to drive keeping my language in check. I had to drive a Honda Civic, and I wanted to. I had very negative thoughts in my head. I know it's a first world problem and blah blah blah, but it was not a good situation. So I feel like I need to stick with a Tesla and just buy something cheap. It could need a lot of work. I don't care. I just need something cheap. Well, not a lot of work. I mean, it could just be like not very good.
Just hold on to the Model Y instead of buying another car, registering it, and all the expenses there. Just hold on to your Model Y till Juniper comes out, and then take the bath at that time. That's what I would recommend.
Listen, if I do that at that time, I won't be taking a bath. I'll be drowning with weights pushed on top of me. Because the moment that car comes out, I know. Yeah, well, I'm homeless. What do you mean? I'm homeless on the streets of San Francisco. What are we trying to say here? Like, I'm completely homeless. So, it's very on brand. People are like, oh, you're homeless? They're like, we don't care. We're also all homeless. Yes.
Mark, so, okay, Elijah heard that, and he knows who you are. I know it. I know, baby. He got upset. You have places to go, correct?
Sorry, let me clarify for the children in the room. There's a lot of satire going on. I'm between places right now. I totally
understand the word satire. Don't lie. You can't be homeless in San
He is
Francisco.
between homes and has places to go. He's stranded. He's far away from his home,
San
but he has lots of
Francisco,
friends nearby that are willing to help out.
Exactly. That's what
He's
fine. That's what I'm saying.
Told him to come here a long time ago. He could be here right now.
Mark is a good
Well, he
looking
could
guy.
because
Any
his
guy
cousin
would take
is
him in.
but after that, yeah.
100% could.
Okay, we're not very nice, and she offered it to me already, and I'm a little bit far from you, but thank you so much.
So now you're coming back
awesome, buddy.
in. Get over it, bro.
Okay. So, okay, so you guys don't think I should sell this car? You guys think I should hold on to it?
I think you should Turo it.
Because
It's a bad idea. So you're still losing money.
yeah, there you go. Toro it. Make some money.
Could I-
problem actually goes the
Toro it
How much
and
Toro
go
is
back
gonna
some
fix
money.
this problem? Like
Well,
if you
that's
the way
not
you're
a-
looking at this problem, it shifts. Right now you're underwater if you sell it, whereas if you change the way you're using the asset, it could actually become a benefit to you.
Yeah, Turo's not a bad idea. Does anybody have experience with it? Do you think it can pay for itself?
I think
Ask, reach out to Ethan and Ryan.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to go to their level because they have like 100 cars and they're killing it. Like once you scale up and you know what you're doing, I'm talking about somebody who's just sort of dipping their toes. Like, listen, I did it with I used to do it with like 5 different Airbnbs. Yeah. Tell me, Sarah, did you start?
well. So
did
let
you
me.
start Turoing yours?
I'm touring my e-tron right now for the first time. I live near an international airport, which definitely always helps. I'm in New Jersey, but I'm very close to Philadelphia International. So we get a lot of people that come into the area for business and are looking to rent luxury vehicles. So this is my first time having someone have the vehicle. But if I can continue a steady volume of people renting it out, I will actually profit on it. But what I wanted to say is where you're at right now, what I have the most experience in is touring vehicles when I go to San Francisco. And I can tell you that the last time that I toured a Model Y with FSD in San Francisco, I paid, all right, don't everybody judge me for this, but I did it. I paid $900 for a week. I had it for 1 week and I paid $900. And that was not like, there were some that were less expensive than that, but there were some that were more. People want to use cars with FSD in the SF area. So if you could hang out where you're at for a little, or I don't know, finance a Model 3 and just like Turo your car in San Francisco, you'd have to find somewhere to garage it, obviously. But I think you could not only pay back what you owe on the Y, but maybe have a little left over to help pay for your new 3.
It's not a bad idea. Well, no, if I'm Turoing it, I don't need, first off, if I'm in SF, I don't need a car. Just to be clear, you don't need a car here. I mean, I'm the type of person who I love having a car, but if I'm here and I'm Turoing it, if 1 week is going to pay for my month, then I'll just Turo it for a week at a time. And, know that I won't have a car that week. My whole thing is just trying to maybe negotiate with them and be like, listen, you gotta make this a total loss because I'm never gonna recover this accident under the car. Like, I'm thinking maybe I should try and negotiate with them, but I don't think with the bill closer to like 30-something thousand US dollars, I don't think they're gonna deem it a total loss.
And just another thing about Turo, though, you also need to be able to be relatively mobile. I know a lot of times what will happen is a person will drop it off, and there's always an adaptation to the original agreement for some reason. So, and there's a lot of cleaning turnaround. It's not like it's not doable, but it is kind of like a part-time / full-time job, given the flexibility you need to have. So,
Right.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, it is a pretty good idea. However, you should start thinking of yourself as like a property management company, because you're going to be doing a lot of cleaning and turning and making sure that you're like at the right location at the right time.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I have a long history of Airbnb. I used to run 5 properties, and I know it's a little different, but the skill set that you have in Airbnb is quite similar, slightly different, but quite similar. So
Not sure what you're
I can
trying
work
to do
that out.
there.
I'm more just trying to see what's the most profitable. Because yeah, like Turoing wouldn't be bad. Like now I still
That's
love
the
my
neighbor
car,
I'd
but
be
I don't
talking
feel.
to.
I'm like, I've already fucked it up. Like, oh, sorry kids in the room. I already messed it up.
Come on, bro, messing it up.
I feel like maybe I could do it now and just be fine with Turoing.
Yeah, and you can always. Sorry.
Just
go
as
ahead.
an aside, my girlfriend's literally only had her new Y for 3 weeks, and she just backed it into a trash bin. So, yeah. No, actually, you rip the Band-Aid off early, you fix it, and then you move on. But I actually, this actually sounds quite positive for you, Mark.
Yeah, and you can always factor in the cost of, like, if you don't want to clean and maintain the vehicles in between use, you just price it out and bake that into your cost. Include your cost for transportation for meetups and drop-offs and all of that. Like, I'm sure that is what the guy that I gave $900 for a week probably factored all of that into his pricing. I don't think he cleaned out the car after I used it. Also, in the San Francisco area, if you do it there, you will get a lot of professionals that are like business professionals. There was nothing for him to clean when he got the car back from me. I'm sure that he maybe did some sanitization, but like if you are choosy about who you rent to, and just factor in, the cost of
Why are you
clean it.
on the side of the road?
Could be a really seamless experience.
Yeah, I have a long-range Model Y. The other question I have for you guys is, so I have Ontario plates on this car. Can I borrow a car with Ontario plates?
That was my only other concern, and I don't know the answer. I can help you look it up, but I do wonder if you have to be
like, you guys got
a resident in the state that you're renting it. But I don't know. When you rent a car from Enterprise, it's got like you'll pick it up in, I don't know, Florida with Texas plates on it.
But at least it's the same country. But I don't know if I can even borrow with these Ontario plates, and I'm not quite ready to. Well, I shouldn't say. I mean, I'm trying to move down here, and I guess I can leave. I guess I don't want to drive my car back to Ontario unless I'm selling my car in Ontario. But it sounds like you guys gave me the best idea to just try and leave it down here and Turo it, turn it into a business, and try to pay it off as soon as I can so that I can move on to the Juniper. And then if I am able to pay most of it down, then I can even just keep it as a Turo. Like, I mean, I always wanted to do that anyways. I just was too afraid. With houses, it's easy. With the Airbnbs, it's easy. I know when something goes wrong, I know how to get an adjustment from their insurance. But if somebody smokes weed in my car or burns something or I miss something, there's not much. It's a little bit more difficult for me, I think, to deal with. I don't know how their adjustment process works, but I guess I can figure it out.
Hey Mark, I would suggest speaking to your insurance company with regards to the international aspect of doing Turo. It might kick up a fuss if it's used for commercial use rather than.
Aviv, I'm trying to bring you up, but I'm having some trouble. Bear with me a moment.
That's another thing, Sanju. Yeah, I gotta sit down and talk to my insurance. I'm gonna wait. These are good ideas. I really appreciate everybody. I'm gonna wait until insurance gets back to me because they can't even fix the car right now. We're waiting on my adjuster the appraiser to get back to the adjuster to work it out. And until then, I can't make any decisions. But this is a pretty decent one considering it looks like now that I know my loan amount, I'm not gonna recover from this car. So might as well keep it. And it does have FSD and it's wrapped. I mean, I love my car. I'm gonna want a Juniper. Although I was in Omar's Performance Model 3, and I was in Silicon Valley John's Cybertruck. And every time I go into a new Tesla, I want that Tesla. So I'm not even sure if my next car is gonna be a Y. Like maybe I'll want a Cybertruck. It's really freaking cool. I mean, how cool is a Cybertruck?
How much is the Cybertruck in the US?
It's
Starting price?
100,000, just under 100,000 right now. But I'm gonna wait till like
It's under 100,000.
well, just I think it's 990. I don't know. It's 100,000. It's 100,000. But
It's not bad.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry to do this. Can we do a quick mic check for Jay, Anish, and Sanju? Because I believe I can't hear any of you.
You can't hear me?
I'm here. If you can hear
I
me.
cannot hear any of you. Luckily, I have captions on. They're delayed, but
Here,
you're
I'm
talking.
here.
I'm gonna try and drop you and bring you right back up.
Did you hear Jay, Sarah? Jay was talking too.
No, I heard none of them, and I didn't see his captions, so I'm gonna one by one drop all three of you and bring you back. Sorry, thanks, guys.
Well, I would just drop Jay just because it's Jay, but the rest of them, yeah, bring them back. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm pulling into the last charger, guys. So I'll catch up with you guys a bit later. While this chat is still gonna be open for what, another 2 days?
We'll try.
Is I am literally going to a
Yeah.
small town where we just went fucking 70 to 50. I can't freaking traps. And the Tesla won't slow down in time for it, so you gotta break, you know?
Love it.
That's what
Well, you guys have a wonderful day. Diana, be safe on the road, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Yep, I'll see you soon, Justin. Be
Oh,
safe.
that's so nice. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Oh, I wish I could be down there.
Sarah, can you hear me now?
Can we mic check again, Jay, Anish, and Sanju?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sarah?
I can hear you.
Jay, we're gonna do this.
I'll drop Sierra.
Jay, we're gonna do the ghost thing where you talk through me, and
That's
I
fine.
talk to
No,
Sierra.
I'm gonna leave.
I'll be your Whoopi Goldberg.
No, tell Sierra I'm about to leave. I'm about to just leave the whole thing and restart it.
Sarah, he's just about to leave. He's making this about race, and he's not happy with us.
Wow.
I can hear you guys.
He said DEI. Jay loves going down that road.
Oh my god, Mark!
I didn't say it. He said it before. Wait, where is Jay? Did he leave?
He told you he was leaving. He said he's gonna drop out and then come back in.
Mark, you had one job.
I don't have any jobs here, thank God. I mean, this is who wants to have this job to keep a room open? This should be Tesla and Friends episode. You should write in multiple episodes. How many episodes has this come?
I think it's been 2.5 days now.
Yeah, I think we're on 132, but yeah, we don't have enough room up there. We had like.
No, I know you don't have to put it in there, but we should just keep track at where we're at. Lincoln's doing it. Lincoln's doing a 4-day thing, so he doesn't have to do any Tesla and Friends for the next 2 months. He's doing his time. all in one shot. That's how he does it.
Sierra, can you hear me now?
Oh, I can hear you. It is glorious. Yay, thank you.
I'm just gonna do a quick mic check as well.
I
Yeah.
got you too. It turns out I was the problem, guys. It was me. Sorry for the dance there.
Sarah, can you hear me?
It's her.
At tea time, using networks.
So, Mark, what is your plan now?
Lincoln!
So my plans are to survive in SF. Actually, it's been pretty fun. I went to a sushi conveyor belt restaurant yesterday, which was fun.
And you walked through the Tenderloin.
I walked right through the Tenderloin, and I even have a video. I almost
And you made it.
I barely made it. Somebody
Did you
threw
say
a
conveyor belt?
milkshake at me.
What do you mean by
Wait, what?
Did you say conveyor belt? Sushi conveyor belt.
Collecting milkshake.
Yeah, it's a conveyor belt sushi. It's like a bullet train that brings
What
your
would
food.
you?
Yeah, why did someone throw a milkshake at me?
Well, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, they were trying to bring the boys to the yard.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
They were hoping.
No, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have been filming the hordes of. Okay, but this is how I saw it, and I was a little bit elevated at the time. So this is what happened. I went to a club with some friends that I met from France, and they were pretty cool. And they wanted to go to an after party club. Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, you remember. So they were pretty cool. So they wanted to go to after party club. So I was bringing them in my car, but then somebody ordered an Uber, so we all hopped in the Uber. But then my car was so far, so I walked like 45 minutes back to my car because I wasn't gonna pay $40 for another Uber, whatever it was. It was a stupid amount at the time. So I walked back from downtown to where my car was parked, and I walked through the Tenderloin, and there were like, so the homeless people that are single, you gotta be careful what drugs they're on.
Huh?
You know, like you gotta be careful of how like violent. How, well, yeah, I don't think any of them are dating, to be honest, but you gotta just make sure that like they don't like pull a fast one to jump at you because they're all crazy and on drugs. But here's the thing: the city has hordes of homeless people. So when you're going to the Tenderloin, there's these streets filled with like there's like rap music going, and they're all on drugs together, and they're like a community. And I felt like it was just like trying to avoid zombies. Like I felt like it was a zombie apocalypse, and I just had to avoid different hordes. So the more concentrated they were, the further I had to distance myself from them. And still, people would yell at you as you walked by. So I got a little recording of some of it. Maybe I'll post it, but it was very terrifying.
Mark, if you don't mind, if you could send it to me.
Yeah, I have a couple, Diana, and it will really show you the state of.
I understand the state of San Francisco. The thing is that like, one, other people are dismissing it. One of the reasons why I asked you to send it to me though was that it's for the children.
Yeah, I agree, and I gotta just check the audio first to see what's being said. Well, I'll still send it to you. I don't care, but I actually it was risky. I probably shouldn't have been taking it, especially because I was alone and I'm in this area. But I kind of also felt like it was important because I'm like, I didn't know these things existed. In Toronto, I had to. Because in Toronto, we have homeless people, but they're homeless people. They're singular, and we do have some areas that are camps that they take down, like tents and stuff. But it's like sort of just one area. It was more just during COVID. But this was different. I didn't see anything like this, and I felt like it was important to like capture that. So yeah, I'll send them.
Thanks, Mark.
The homeless crisis in San Francisco is very much a mental health crisis. There are certain things in the state of California that go on with their public health systems where they don't admit anyone for mental health issues for longer than 48 hours, and then they literally drop them off at City Hall on a bus.
The significant issue with that is that there's two issues, and I'm going to just write off of that. Is that one, said, no, fuck them. Well, I might fuck you. No, we're not helping.
Mark, so the other thing is that when you mandate something like taking a person to a particular treatment facility, there's a big problem with the suspension of human rights. Like there's this, and again, Diana pointed out, and I've had to deal with this myself with friends. They're oftentimes they're given the benefit of the doubt, basically. So if they say no, the answer is no. And if they haven't broken a law, then they still have their agency, and they're not criminals. So it's a difficult line to cross, because even though they are in need of help from the external, it has to be an internal request for help.
You know, everybody who's that desperate, I shouldn't say everybody, anybody who's that desperate easily becomes a criminal. The other day I had to stay in my car, didn't have accommodations. I have some accommodations now, I'm fine. And I was at a Safeway, Walgreens Plaza, and I thought I'll just rest for a few hours. The Walgreens got broken into while I was in the parking lot. They broke the door. They weren't super violent. They didn't have a gun or anything like that, but it got broken into, and there was yelling on the streets. I could not stay there. I had to then go get a place. I had to then go get a place that night, which I did, and I was fine. And what I'm trying to say is, if you take away the most desperate people, if you take away the people who are really the most desperate, you're ensuring, you're elevating the safety of the entire city. Now, a matter of whether they want to go or not, it's not that hard to incentivize people to get a little bit of help. Will they stick to it? Probably not.
Pretty
There
cool.
has to be, I mean, I think it's a sales marketing thing. Just figure out a way. Everybody has human nature. You figure out a way to make it compelling for them. But the moment you get some of these most desperate people off the streets, you make the streets a way more safe.
Well, okay, so like I had a good friend of mine who was paranoid schizophrenic, and it was one of those things where you're totally right. Like at any given time, he would be like, "Yeah, I need help," but then it would go from "I need help" to "I don't need help," and then there was like internal family struggles. And he wasn't a criminal at the time, and that's the other thing is that the United States is really familiar with making criminality the solution, sort of the prison industrial complex. And there's a huge conversation around this.
Take some of the funds towards prisons and put them into rehabilitation. Because again, if you were desperate on the streets and you couldn't get by, and then you include drugs in it, like, what do people expect?
But the
What do
prisons
people
are
expect?
private. That's the thing. The prisons are private.
But wait, so they're private, and who? I don't understand. It's private,
They
but it's
make
obviously
money.
paid for by the government.
Subsidies. So there's a lot
But
of.
where do the subsidies come from? Like, all we're doing is creating these little boxes to say the government's paying for
You're
it.
exactly right. But here's the thing: when you create subsidies, you create an economic system
really know anything about that program. I'm specifically talking, like, how many people do you think are on the streets of San Francisco? That might be a good ChatGPT question.
Depending on the
Hundreds.
No, I mean the streets of San Francisco, the entire city.
Hundreds.
I don't have education to speak to that.
I don't think ChatGPT does either.
Mark, and you know, I've dealt with family my whole life for mental health drug issues, and with the mental health, mental health drugs slow the brain down to our speed, and the mental illness naturally gives them a high like cocaine. And so the reason they don't want to take the mental health drugs is because they feel like their brain is on
It numbs them, Carol.
right. And so they like the high of their mental health. Because
Yeah. You have a lot of experience in this. And Carol, I have a paranoid schizophrenic sister. You do know that, right? So like I grew up with a paranoid schizophrenic in my house. I know how to deal with her. I mean everybody's different, but I'm saying like, so I looked it up. There's between 8,000, I'm gonna go with the higher number. It says between 8,000 or 9,000 to as high as 19,000. 20,000 people is a lot of people, but it's not a bottomless problem. Like it really isn't a bottomless problem. It's something that can be fixed, and I just don't understand why there's no. I mean, I could say the same thing about Toronto. There's homeless people there, so you could easily push back on me and be like, "Well, your country's not doing it either." But I just feel like, wow, this is something that some freaking billionaires and some people who actually give a shit in this world should be getting involved in and fixing.
Well, hey, Mark. Okay, so check this out, because I'm actually, I have a dear friend I've known my whole life. He's one of the, Elon, neggers. And basically, there's this interesting conversation of who should be doing it. Should it be the government? Should it be the private sector? All this kind of stuff. But it does seem that the government is the problem because they're creating the polarity. I mean, when a government tries to do something, they generally are inefficient at it. When the millionaire or billionaire tries to do it, they have to adhere to the government rules, which usually makes it more difficult. There's the public eye. So this question I think we really need to get down to is the value systems that we endorse to fix our problems. And I think that right now what we've got here is we've got two hammers, and we're like, well, which hammer do we use to fix the
Oh,
problem?
this is what I would say: private funding, public support. The reason why I say private funding is because there's actually stupid amounts, like the concentrated wealth is getting more and more, and people don't really have, like, this is obviously why the world is so effed up, because we concentrate wealth to points where people don't. But anyways, I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying, if somebody, well, I'm just saying, my point.
Can I give you a little insight on the way that our U.S. government
Better.
operates through a personal experience? So I found out very recently that during COVID, which was we're almost 4 years out from the onset of COVID, I was apparently overpaid by unemployment. No one tried to contact me. I never received a bill. Nothing. I have been gainfully employed for 4 years
hotel setting, a building with doctors and rehab and places. They don't have to be fancy, but actually hotel rooms or places where people can stay for a month to 2 months or whatever they need to get better and get into a program and a job. How is that? That's not destabilizing anything. They're not.
You gotta.
What industry? What are they destabilizing? The drug industry?
No. You're looking at the housing sector. I'm talking about economics and the actual money circulating through the local community. See, in a large place like San Francisco, it's harder to see. It's a bigger problem, but it's harder to see. Whereas if, like, say, a small town in the middle of, Kansas City or whatever, or Kansas, decides to do the same thing, the influx of finances can cause, for instance, let's say all of a sudden there's a huge influx. You're doing this really wonderful service, but
No, you're going on something. I'm not talking about an application for the entire United States. I'm talking about fixing homelessness in San Francisco and then taking that model and applying it to other big cities. Obviously, I found since I've been traveling through the states, your states are so different that your states should be countries. You should have, this should be multiple. So just to be clear, I'm not talking about a solution that's brought to each state, the same solution brought to each state or anything like that. I'm talking about a solution for this big city and then potentially working on the next big city and whatnot, which will obviously be on its own. Okay?
That's like the Denver Broncos versus the. Basically, it comes down to who came up with the idea. There's a lot of conflict.
Who gives a shit? Let's just fix the problem. We just need a billionaire with money and some people who want to work.
Guys. Hey, Sierra, are you there? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna drop out because we're gonna go potty and get something to snack on. When I come back, could you bring me back up? I think you would anyway. Oh, of course.
Enjoy your snacks, Diana. Anyways, I wanted to say, Sierra, I know I was texting you about it. I have the exact same problem. During COVID, I lost my business and my job. And so they told me you qualify for this benefit. And they said, even if you mess it up, don't worry about it. It's getting paid out to you. I was supposed to get about $6 or $7 grand back as my return this year, which I was looking for and really needed right now. And instead, I owe 14 grand so they burnished everything that I was supposed to get back, and they're just gonna take anything that they owe me plus charge me interest until I pay it back. And the wait times to get on the phone with somebody are hours, and I try every day and I can never get through. They actually cut you off from calling in and waiting on the phone if they have too many people in queue. So I have the same issue here, but I just think that doesn't really have anything to do with what I'm talking about here. I mean, maybe
it does though, because here's my point. So I'm a person who has a long track record of gainful employment, and my government is willing to make me homeless. And you think that they're going to correct the homelessness problem?
Well, that's why I said
they don't want to spend any extra.
That's
money.
why I said private solution, private funding, very entrepreneurial. It has to be something. It has to be somebody's legacy. It has to be somebody who actually gives a shit about this program with public funding.
The private solution will be fought but it will be fought by the government because the government requires the systems that they're trying to destabilize. What you're saying, basically what we need to do is reevaluate the systems and the way they distribute their value.
Which one's going to come after that?
Well, okay,
you're saying
like this. Wait, real quick. So a business is a legal fiction that is allowed to exist at the whim of the government. So if the government does not like what the legal fiction, your business, is doing, it will throw you under the bus. It will cancel your pay package.
Hey, forget about any government funding. Let's go completely private. Let's go to some billionaires that want to leave a legacy.
Understanding is that even if you get rid of government funding,
you're still operating a business which exists at the privilege of the government that says that you're a business.
Well, I'm sure what you're bringing to the table for a non-profit business. I'm sure, yes, there's going to be forms. Yes, it's going to have to be a whole business. There's going to be a lot of working around the government, but I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure it can be done. You can't tell me that there's so many things in the way. I'm pretty sure the hardest part would be able to get the funding from some sort of billionaire who actually wants to fix this problem.
If it was this simple, I mean, like, let's talk about billionaires. I mean, there's a lot of really good ideas out there, but you have to be able to jump through the legal red tape. And I mean, even Elon has a hard time doing this sometimes. But what I'm trying to say is that if it was this simple, and it was simply an act of compassion and kindness, which it should be, this is not a hard problem. But the reason that it is a hard problem is because we're not looking at the systemic makeup of homelessness. And it's not just people and education. A lot of it has to do with political systems that may have been put in place at one point to solve a problem, but have now been used to exploit them.
Like for example, name one.
Name one political motivated program.
One system that would go against somebody who actually worked on this problem.
Okay, how about electric vehicles and disrupting the oil and gas industry? There's one.
Okay, and they worked it out. They got somebody.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no future to anything but an EV at this point. So it's more than worked out. Once you get to 1%, people Tesla's not going to collapse at this point, and it doesn't make a difference. Remember, technology moves forward. It doesn't matter if it takes another 5-10 years of hybrids, and if they go back to gas and everything goes crazy. It does not matter. The future is electric, because that's where technology.
Yeah, in 1975, we're kind of coming full circle to where we were, and the oil and gas industry has been threatened many, many times. And
they're all investing now. They're all investing. The oil and gas they know. They just want the transition to be slower.
Ross, what I'm trying to say.